Hello and welcome everybody, this is Yost Leobach, and you're just in time for more Let's Play Alice Madness Returns. In the last episode, we made our way into a cave, and as we're making our way up a mountain, and it seems like we're going down right now, so yeah, it's a little weird. But still, either way, we're going to be progressing forward eventually. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue with that, shall we? I see no reason why we shouldn't be progressing forward.
Only the savage regard the endurance of pain as the measure of worth.
I like that quote. I like almost everything that the Cheshire Cat says in this game. A lot of it does speak a lot. A lot of it is very philosophical, but a lot of it also speaks a lot of truth when you start to think about it. The measure of one's pain is equal to the amount they're worth. I don't think so. I mean, I've met too many good people out there who've led relatively good lives. I mean, in all honesty, there's no such thing as a perfect life, but you know, they've led good ones. I mean, they know what they're doing. Hell, if anything, I'm not sure. I said that halfway through. I was gonna say the lack of pain shows a person's true worth because it shows they're smart, but that's not always the case. So even then, you can't argue with that. But it's not always, yeah. Life isn't proportional. I mean, I guess I need to keep hitting this guy with the back, run. Yeah, wrong button. The other guys. Oh, I think hit someone else. Oh, hit him, yes. Oh, this thing is strong. I did not realize how powerful this thing could be. There we go. I get that they're dodging like crazy. Oh, snap. There we go, that's not gonna work then. I guess it'll work when in larger groups. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be used for. It's the equivalent of a grenade launcher, and right there's a... Right there's a pig snout, so let's get a... There we go. So yeah. That hurts. That hurts. Get away. Get away from the corruption.
Regrettably, the creature has
I like that dragon tat. I know it was like an episode or two ago, but I was talking about how I like the dragon tattoos on these statues. I like that. I like that one. It kind of goes around the body. It starts at the back and then kind of goes around, kind of over the neck, kind of like over the neck and under shoulder, kind of like a sash sort of thing. And then kind of curves over to the stomach. It's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. Again, I love the art direction of this game. I don't think I mentioned art direction yet. Where am I getting that from? Oh, probably Probably 'cause that's the one word that you could use to define Trigger Conroy's Let's Play of Okami was art direction. That's the point I think he said like 15 times in one episode just to say it. And he managed to fit it into sentences instead of just saying it out, just saying it straight up. um, I love the little, again, it's the little details. That's what I was thinking of. It's the little details that they add to this game. The little details here and there that normally you wouldn't pay attention to in any other game, but the current game we're playing. It's like
a restless seeker on private business arrived in the misery-infested land. She, despite ignorance, uncertainty, and unhappiness in her own life, could not endure to see them suffering. She began to
oh wow, oh I need a string, don't I?
Murderers, abusers, and defilers
Okay,
without
so let's
quite knowing
try that.
why or for whose sake she should.
Oh, we need to go up here.
Or
Okay,
how the struggle would end.
that's what we need to do. Oh, that solves the problem. Well, there's your problem. To quote Mythbusters. So I'm fairly certain that they weren't the first to come up with that. I know for a fact that one of the quotes that Adam Savage uses in there is I substitute your out I no not substitute I reject your reality and substitute my own. Comes from a pretty crappy movie that I actually saw a review of by the Spoony one. Yeah, go figure he reviews crappy movies. What was it? It was like Dungeon Master, I think it was called. Like in Europe it was called Warzone or something like that. It's a really weird kind of D&D but not D&D movie. That makes any sense? But yeah, crap, now I forgot. There's something else I was going to say, but now I forgot what I was going to say there. Just got into talking about Mythbusters. You guys are going to talk about how Mythbusters kind of lost a lot of their steam recently. They're not making as many good episodes as they used to. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's the fact that they've just kind of gone through a lot of the myths. There's not a whole lot more you can go through that can keep things interesting. I really look forward to whenever they do their duct tape survival episodes, because those are actually pretty cool. You need a shrink right here. And this, I think we're gonna shrink. Yep. Actually, it's kind of a thought just occurred to me. Why do we call psychologists shrinks? I guess it's supposed to be an insult, calling them a shrink. They're just kind of some whack job. But I don't know why the term shrink. Because they shrink. They don't get smaller. It doesn't shrink you. It doesn't shrink you or anything. It's the only thing I can think of. The only reason why is that there's got to be some sort of history behind it. Like maybe the term shrink has. Maybe people start talking about it, they talk about like stuff like shrunken heads. I don't know, does that seem like it'd be a logical... Whoa. That seems like it could be a logical thing? I'm not a psychologist myself, or any kind of psychoanalyst. All I know about psychology is that is the basic comprehension of human nature is very complex, convoluted, and nigh impossible to understand a person's motives without actually having known the person themselves. And even then, there's other stuff that gets in the way, like psychological drugs, it's various different types of chemicals. But I guess you can consider all those drugs, even if they're not like, your what you consider drugs. Anything that kind of hallucinogenics. Like I know this is something that probably shouldn't be talked about on this show, but the no, I'm sure I've mentioned it before. So why not? The zombie thing in Florida, the whole deal with the guy thinking he was a zombie. That was due to like him taking some synthetic cocaine, I think. It's like something called bath salts. Like I think it's synthetic cocaine. Which I'm like sitting here thinking, if you're gonna do the fake stuff, why not do the real stuff? Man, I don't condone drug use, mind you, but just if you're gonna do something, do the real stuff. I don't know. Oh, Spicy Horse, the team logo. That's actually kind of cool. Oh, there's a way to change the subject. I don't know. Maybe there's some drug users that watch the show that can or some people that know drug users or kind of know the whole deal about it that can at least explain to me. Right here, I think you're finally meeting the Caterpillar.
This way to find a simulacrum.
If I had the time, I'd detail how often you prefer dealing with illusions rather than the real thing. Problems you refuse to deal with don't exist. You deny reality.
That's not right. I know what's real.
No, and you allow others to tell you what isn't real. Now, come inside.
I'm gonna have to check on whether or not simulacrum is actually a real word. That's simulacrum. I guess we replace the word simulation with it. I have a phone
My
right now. I
memories
can
are
check
shattered.
it.
This wicked train has ruined nearly all I can recall. And Wonderland will perish completely as I lose my mind. So much has changed. I can't help Wonderland if I can't help myself.
Much has changed, but you've got it backwards.
Trying to
Save
get this.
Wonderland, and you may
Trying to
save
get this
yourself.
seamless.
The carpenter was onto something, but he was hiding from the real. Your goal is to accept it.
Where should I go then? What should I do?
The Queen must be served, Alice. The Queen in all her guises must always be served.
We get control for like half a second. I mean, I was moving it the whole time up, but
How can she stem this growing corruption or resist my search? What does she know that I don't?
She is someone you once knew and loved. Time changes us all.
Not all change is good.
Remember that when you find the Queen.
as he becomes a butterfly,
Time changes us all.
and we return to the real world. So I really like that little bit of symbology right there. Like the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, which this would be the third time now if you're going by just the books. I'm not sure about the books. Second time at least, they turned into a butterfly.
Oi, you there. That's enough of that. Coming a regular this, Nick Alice. What's this time, Fred?
Never played the first
Old lady, muttering
Alice
about
game,
murder
so I don't
in
know if you
Needle
turn
Street,
if you
cursing
made
insects on the National Railroad. Had to bring her in, didn't I?
Shut, menace to herself. But no danger to others, surely. She don't belong in jail.
Too true, but where then does she belong?
Let's walk her out, Fred. Send her back to Dr. Bambi. He raised holy hell last time I kept her overnight.
Oh, what happened?
Same night Jack splattered at the waste of mother's love was nabbed for cutting that heavy outside the mermaid. Yeah, I was taking Alice down and we meet two coppers walking Jack to the cells. He's mad at the usual I never, wrong bloke nonsense when he sees Alice. That's the bitch what done it, he yells. She screams, you miserable cur, you leech, you maggot, living off another's labour, etc., etc. I'm admiring her line of
I like the dialogue
inquiry.
with these guys.
Suddenly she hits her head or something and fades. Couldn't send her home, could I? couldn't be pitched a fit. Said he'd have me jobbing me arse on a plate. Told him he could have the former. Leave the letter alone, thank you very much. Good night, Alice. You know the way out.
Yeah, I think these guys are supposed to be like the real life version, or real life, this reality's version of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I guess you could say. It kind of seemed like they had that kind of similar chemistry. So as though this fellow will likely go down to the cells. His fellow inmates don't want him sticking up in the cells. Many of the homeless prefer an overnight in the gaol rather than living rough on the streets. Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, hell, at least here you have a roof over your head, even if prisons back then weren't all that great. Even now, they're still not a place you want to go to, but at least they feed you. At least it's warm, and it's better than being homeless, right? Of course, you have to worry about dropping the soap.
This is my day off.
Yeah, this kind of brought that thought into your mind for those who it brought that thought in your mind for those who get the joke. For those of you that don't get the joke, first of all, where have you been the past couple? And wow, there's a cat. Where have you been the past couple decades? Oh wow. Okay. Okay, looks like we've entered Wonderland again, I think. Let's see, somehow managed into the sewers. Something. Okay, so I think that was a good time as any to end the episode off here. So in the next episode, we'll be walking down this hallway, and is this a sewer or is this a kinda... Oh, it's a prison. Okay, so we'll be walking down this hallway and kind of figuring out where we need to go. Until then, I will see you guys later.